Good morning, welcome to Catex TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, November 17th, 2014. You can follow us on Twitter at Catex TV. There was a significant 6.5 magnitude earthquake about 2 hours ago that struck off the East Cape of New Zealand. It's been widely felt around the North Island. Damage was reported in the city of Ohope in the eastern Bay of Plenty. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center there said that there is no tsunami threat. This is fortunate because had there been a tsunami, it would have happened quite quickly from the time of the earthquake strike. It would have only taken about 15 minutes to hit land. There was a magnitude 4.0 quake, an aftershock, about half an hour after the big 6.5. In Iceland, the volcano at Barabunga was hit by a 5.5 magnitude quake yesterday at about 1:37 a.m. in the morning. This is being watched very carefully by international airlines because of what happened 2 years ago when the volcanic ash spewed over the whole North Atlantic air route when another Icelandic volcano erupted. There have been about 90 seismic events in the Barabunga area in the past 24 hours. So this is something that the people are keeping a close eye on. The Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, apparently is facing some unexpected economic headwinds. The country has slid into recession as housing and business investment has declined following a sales tax hike. The world's third largest economy contracted at a 1.6% pace in the July-September quarter. This was the second consecutive quarter that it had failed to show any growth, technically meaning it's in a recession. They had increased the sales tax from 5% to 8% in April, and the impact of the sales tax, according to one commentator, was much more severe than expected. Given the contraction, the Prime Minister is expected to put off another sales tax hike planned for next October. David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, at the G20 summit in Brisbane, Australia, said that red warning lights are flashing on the dashboard of the global economy and that a second global crash could be looming. He said there were early signs similar to those seen before the global recession 6 years ago. He said there was a dangerous backdrop of instability and uncertainty, with diplomatic, humanitarian, and economic problems across the world, potentially endangering not only Britain's recovery, but the world as a whole. 4 workers have been killed at a DuPont plant after a chemical leak in suburban Houston. The chemical methyl mercaptan began leaking from a valve at around 4 a.m. Saturday morning in a unit at the plant, which is about 20 miles east of Houston in the city of LaPorte. Plant officials said that the release was contained by 6 a.m., but unfortunately 4 workers were dead already. A 5th is hospitalized and being held for observation, but no further details were available. At least 4 people have been killed in landslides in southern Switzerland and northern Italy following days of torrential rain. 2 people died when a wall of mud destroyed a house near the Swiss town of Lugano on Sunday, and in Italy, 2 people were killed when a mudslide engulfed their home. The heavy rain is expected to continue across the region, and both countries have issued major flood alerts. According to the BBC, the Rolling Stones have apparently settled a legal dispute with 12 insurers over their decision to deny a payout after the band was forced to postpone concerts earlier this year on their Australasian tour. It came to light, apparently, that Mick Jagger was at loggerheads with 12 underwriters of a $15 million policy bought by the band, which allowed cancellation of performances following the deaths of listed family members. L. Ren Scott, Mr. Jagger's girlfriend at the time, was apparently a listed member, and she committed suicide. An $8 million claim had been rejected following the postponement of concerts in Australia and New Zealand. The BBC is reporting that the Rolling Stones settled the insurance claim some time ago before the press reports came to light last week. A spokesman acting on behalf of Jagger said, "We are upset that confidential medical and other private information about members of the band and their immediate family and loved ones has entered the public domain as a result of a U.S. court filing initiated by insurers 4 weeks ago." Well, their G20 is wrapping up, but Vladimir Putin has left already after 2 days of indignities and snubs and embarrassments as other world leaders turned on their heels when they saw him approaching. he left the summit early. Mr. Putin said that he needs a decision was based upon nothing to do at the summit or nothing to do with tensions over Ukraine. He said he had a long flight ahead of him and wanted to catch up on sleep. A spokesperson said, actually, he said this, he's quoted as saying this: "We need 9 hours to fly from here, from Brisbane to Vladivostok, and another 9 hours from Vladivostok to Moscow. Then we need to get home and return to work on Monday. There's a need to sleep at least 4 to 5 hours." A number of Western nations warned Putin that he is facing increased sanctions because of his Ukraine policy. Mr. Putin has denied any involvement in the conflict in Ukraine, which has killed more than 4,000 people. And he said today that the situation in the Ukraine, quote, has a good chance for resolution, no matter how strange it may sound. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.